Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Mixed Media Frenzy. And today I apologize in advance for how long this video is likely to be because number one, you'll see all this array of stuff I have on my desk. It's all of it except the stamp set and the inks are part of my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit, which is made of leftovers from Calvin Ball. And so there's not a lot of rhyme or reason to these things. So I kind of pulled things by color and, size and things like that. I have no idea what of these things I will use. I think for sure I'll use this one because I have some yellow in my photo cluster, which I'll show you in a minute. So what I've done so far is not much. This is the sketch, and it's got a photo. I'm using a 4x6 with lots of layers. There's a matting, it looks like, and I've used about 3 layers of matting just because I had the scraps. And then a larger piece, there's a tab here, tab here. There are these banners kind of sticking out the sides here. A grouping of 3 similar things. Lots of splashy mixed media around there. Looks like some cup rings. So just circular bits around it. This dark kind of curvy, I'm not sure what to call that, parenthetical kind of shape. I'm not going to include that. I'd like more of the mixed media kind of around in this title area to show, and I've kind of got some ideas for what to do here. I'm going to make round images, but not that look like that. I'm going to have some splatters, and I'm not quite sure what that's going to look like, but let me get my water just because I said splatters. So I've done a little bit in that I've started the photo cluster, putting the photo cluster together. My background is going to be this. Let's get the paper identification out of the way. It is an Amy Tangerine, let's see what collection. I have it somewhere here. Shine On. So it's a relatively recent one from maybe a couple years ago. Love it, and I love this other side. I have another sheet of this from which I probably will fussy cut those, a few cameras. I'll probably cut a bit off and cut some cameras out. But I really, really love this. It's kind of a wonky leaf stripe. I'm not sure what else to call it. It's diagonal lines, but they're kind of hand-drawn and not perfect. And then there are little divisions that look like leaf veins. So I'm going to use this as my background. And first thing I'm going to do, and I'm hoping that you can see, you can see it well enough. I'm going to push some of these things aside, and I was kind of trying out some of those things. This is a sticker sheet that I emptied. I had a yellow tab sticker there that I included here. The pattern papers here include Echo Park, and I believe it's called Petticoats and Pinstripes. And it's a line, this is by Lori Whitlock, it's a line of paper that I got a couple sheets of in a grab box from Mind the Scrap. The blue is the B-side of this kind of cut apart page from Maggie Holmes' Sunny Days. And the pink is from Horizon by Paige Evans. And I, of course, have used this side of this. I think I got 3 sheets of this from different places. I've fussy cut these butterflies and bugs and moths out. Dragonflies. And I probably will with what's left of it, but this kind of corally pink was perfect for me. Another story I have to tell you is, yes, you have seen a layout with me using this photo of Reese. It's a filtered photo, close-up photo of her, and it shows her little underbite, teeth, and I just love how it looks with this filter on it. But what this page is really going to be used for is a graduation cap and gown photo of my granddaughter Katie. And back when she took her senior photos, the cap and gown photos were taken at that time, but they were shipped to the school, and the school is going to distribute them. I'm not sure when, since there is no more school and nobody's in the building. So I'm trusting that one day we'll get those photos, and I'm going to use one of those here. I'm going to overlay this. I adhered it so that it should be easy to peel off and put another photo there. But in the meantime, Reese is going to stand in for Katie, and I think she'll do just fine. The colors in here should be great, and Katie's cap and gown I think are going to be blue, so there will be some blues in here. Okay, let me put the photo cluster aside. I'm not finished with it, but this is to show that I've kind of used the sticker sheet except for this one, and I'm going to use it just right behind this one. Let's do it this way. Yeah. And then I think I might outline it with a black pen. So that it shows. And I may be doing some more outlining and doodling, but for right now, that's there, and that accomplishes what I wanted it to accomplish. So I'm gonna toss the sticker sheet away. Sometimes I fussy cut around and use these shapes, but I don't use the tab shape as much as others because it isn't necessarily attractive on its own. So that one's actually going in the trash. I have some Dina Wakley Media Clear Gesso. It's doesn't contain a whole lot of moisture, so it shouldn't buckle the page. I'm doing this so that the white mixed media that I put on, or the light colored mixed media, kind of sits more on the top instead of getting absorbed in the paper. And because I want a little bit of a different, using this clear gesso kind of gives the paper a little bit different look or sheen. I'm not doing an absolute complete cover of it. So that's all I'll use. I have seen some folks put it on the back, but this is fairly good cardstock type paper, so I'm thinking that may not be necessary. Okay, clear gesso aside, you're gonna laugh when I pull out my Vicki Boutin gesso that made it all over my floor, and I'm maybe gonna use this to, I'm gonna try to color it a bit. I've got 3 Distress Oxides colors: Salty Ocean, Mermaid Lagoon, and Broken China. 3 blues, certainly. So I'm going to smear them on my glass mat, and let me make sure that you can see all 3 of those. I'm going to move it over a bit, and then I'll move it to the right. And you can see the my light kind of reflected in there, that little kind of half ring there. Okay, so now I'm going to spritz with a little bit of water. just to make it a little bit more spreadable. And I'm going to scoop out some gesso down into there. Try to do it without touching the colors. Okay, and what I'm hoping is that this produces some slightly colored gesso, and the colors are similar enough that as I mix them, I'm not gonna worry a whole lot about getting my brush in the next color. Okay, I'm seeing a little bit different. This one isn't getting the color into the gesso as much as I'd like, but I'm gonna leave it with that. And now, what I'm gonna try to do is these few kind of strips, and I have a variety of brayers, and then I'll probably do something bigger here, maybe with this larger brayer. So I want to do 3 strips. I'm going to use that because I'm going to use, this is a homemade stamp. I had the foam backing to a rubber background stamp, and I didn't want to throw the foam backing away, so I just cut it with a craft knife into this shape, and I'm probably going to try to stamp with that to get these splotchy looking kinds of areas there. So that's what that's for, and I'm going to put some gesso on it anyway. So now I want to take the, let me make sure that you can see. You really can't see what I'm doing to the paper. So I'm going to move all of this stuff away. I told you it was going to take a long time because just shuffling things onto and off of the, out of the camera range is a little difficult. Let me check that view. That you generally are able to see that. I may move this over since you've seen me mix that up. Now I'm going to put this full on there and kind of take, I've got this chevron patterned brayer on here right now, and let me get my original kind of posted there, and I kind of think running it down like this, good. It's very subtle, but you can see that it's there. So let me get this bluer one, and I'm going to try to pick up some of the ink there, and I'll do that one kind of like that. Now we're going to do the more aqua toned one. There, that doesn't show up particularly well, but I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to blend all those colors together with this large brayer, and I'm going to kind of get it a bit, I'm not sure how much of that can you see. You can see a fair amount of that. Okay, so now I want to do this vertical. And I like the color variations that are occurring there. So let me get that out of the way. Now, I'm going to put this aside, other than, let me kind of go, I'm going to add a little more of the, I think the Mermaid Lagoon there. And I'm going to kind of paint onto this stamp, and I'm going to wet it a little bit. I'll spritz the stamp itself I'm not getting a good spritz there. And I'll go there. Okay, that's good. Just something that looks like a bit of a blotch. I'm not sure that's a word I want to use, but we'll go there. Okay. By the time the photo gets there and I have the other elements, and it's actually picking up some of the ink that I had cleaned off on there. Okay, so now I'm ready to take this whole glass mat and move it out of the way. And I'm going to do the rest with stamps, but I would like for this to have a chance to dry, so I'm going to put it aside and we'll work on the photo cluster. So I'll bring it back into frame and we'll see what we want here. In the original, there are all of these striped fishtail banners. And let me kind of set that so that it will stand up. Let me makeshift a little thing there. And I've got some different colored scraps here. I think I put this, and I have these. Some scraps that I've used before. Okay, so what I would like to do is kind of start that horizontal bit with this. This is a label that's from a Cocoa Vanilla collection. I think it's Happiness. And I thought I might put these there kind of at slight angles and let that be the basis for the smaller banners that I'm going to make. So they've used staples around on the original. So I'm going to kind of staple that there. And let me go up here. Probably should staple that twice, but I want to get this one stapled well. Okay, let me go back over here and get that. Okay, so that's there. I'm going to kind of make some very free-form kinds of fishtail banners. I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna use the trimmer, and I'll kind of tuck them maybe like this into here, get this, and I'm kind of adding some colors that aren't naturally occurring, shall we say. Here's kind of a purple. This is a Truly Grateful purple polka dot. And it's just gonna look kind of handmade and maybe sticking out of different levels of the photo matting at different angles. This is the same kind of newsprint that I used in one of the layers of the mat. And I thought I could throw that in there. And let's see, maybe down here. And I've got this, it's from Field Trip, and I love it because it's kind of a wonky stripe, and it'll make a wonky banner. and it'll add more, you know, to the color story. Shall we say? Here we go. Maybe right there. I've got this, which is part of a Doodlebug Easter collection. I'm not sure, well, yeah, why not? I'll make this one a little wider and a little shorter, and I'll kind of tuck it in under there so it's barely peeking through, and it doesn't try to be too dominating. Let's see if I can use my tweezers for this. Pick these up. Kinda stick that right there. Okay, that's good. And then I have this, which is also a Truly Grateful. I've die cut some things from it, but didn't want to throw it away. There was enough of this pretty kind of coral painted dot paper. Let me see where I can put that. Yeah, that's good. There, maybe? We'll try that. See if that works. Okay, now some of this will end up in the scrap pile for use again, and some of it will go in the recycle bin. I've kept all my scraps from Calvin Ball and ended up with a nice collection of things that I can use. I put it all into my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit, and I've got a selection of these things here. I went through and made some selections beforehand, but now in the original they've done this cluster of embellishments with buttons, flowers and buttons here, and I wanted to do it here in this case to cover up this red dot. But I'm going to be replacing this photo, so I need to do something that is not really sticking to the photo. So I'm going to put a couple of pop dots on this half circle, and I will let that half circle be the kind of the anchor for the embellishments that I place there. It'll be kind of a hidden half circle. This was done, I was cutting out this from Paige Evans, Truly Grateful. There was a rule that got me a point every time I put a frame. So the reverse side of this green leaf print had a bunch of different frames. So I fussy cut a bunch of them out, and I was going to use this one as a circular frame, and so I had that one left. So let me do this, and now I'm going to arrange on there some flowers. Let's see what I have here. I have this piece of flare, so I'd like the piece of flare to be there, but maybe this flower, that's kind of too much flower, too much of a flower. This appeals to me more, especially since I can kind of hide it back up under here. Especially if well, let's see. I really want this greenery sticking out. So let me kind of lift that up and I'll place it there. I don't know where this came from. I believe it is from a collection that I won as a prize at the last Mind the Scrap Cybercrop. I like this little guy, and I have a piece of foam already on it. So that was something I'd planned to do on a Calvin ball layout, and I didn't. So I'm thinking we just stick it here so that it's kind of sticking out that way. I have this half of a flower and another flower. I'm trying to build it so that, here we go, so that nothing sticks to the photograph. But I want some things kind of tucked up in here. Maybe there would be good. And then I could do this other one. I think these are both Truly Grateful. Get some of that out of there. I will probably put this one on a pop dot raised up on that little platform thing, the overhang, and I'll do it that way. And then I'm gonna get this little green one and I'll tuck it under, but have it on a pop dot sticking out here. So again, it's lying on top of the photo, but it's not adhered to it. So we'll do this. See if I want to do that. Yeah, that works. Okay. And now I'm going to use this piece of flare, and I think this is, I don't know if it's Lawn Fawn or Doodlebug. It's many, many years old. And it was kind of an orphan, kind of all by itself. Okay, so that's my cluster there. And I have this guy in this. There's actually a semicircular lined journaling spot, and I thought this could get, there's not enough of it that shows if I do that, but I kind of like this where I'm tucking it behind the flowers and over behind this tag. So I'm gonna do that. It's actually sticking in there pretty well right now. It's gotten up into some of the glue behind these. So I'm gonna leave that. Let's see. Another piece that I've tried to use on the last few layouts I've done is this frame. It's the bottom part of a Polaroid type frame, and I thought maybe I could use it here. Let's see. This doesn't really want to go down there. Let me cut this down, and then we'll see. What I want is for this to be hidden back behind this photo, but a little of the blue can be showing through. Again, that needs to be cut off almost entirely. Okay, so now let's try this again. There, that's reasonably decent. I will adhere it. And we'll see. I may need something right here, and I'm thinking another tab or something like that might be good. Okay, there. Let me see if I have anything like that. I have that's nothing there. Let's look. I've got a couple sticker sheets. There were some tabs. There's this little bit right here that has a heart, and I don't mind sticking it so the heart is sideways, but it might be better if I did it this way, right? Okay, so there's that, and it's actually being propped up by some foam that's behind one of the layers there, so that's good. I like this bit of a frame, but I'm thinking it might be too much to add that, so I'm gonna reject that idea. So let's get the vertical piece. Let me do this. I want to have this paper clip, and it can kind of appear to be holding this photo on, and that's a part of the photo where it doesn't really obscure your view of Reese, who is, after all, the star at the moment. Let me do one of these hearts. And I don't know if I'm the only one who has trouble getting Cocoa Vanilla stickers up, but that's a little bit of an issue. So let me do this, kind of breaking that line. And I'm going to also take this smaller one and put it right here. Okay, there's a tag there. There's plenty to use there. I may, just for the heck of it, to stick with that color scheme, to be consistent with that, I'm going to try to peel up this butterfly. There we go. Okay, so I've messed up the edges of it in a couple places, but we're good. Now, I have to tell you that on about 6 layouts that I've tried to use this flower, I've rejected it every time. So that may be telling me something. That may not be my style of flower, and it's not my color for sure, but there's enough gold yellow kind of stuff in this, in the layout elsewhere, and it contrasts nicely with the okay, I'm gonna do that. Contrasts nicely with the blue background. Okay, there's that, and when I put it on the paper, I'm gonna include this bit right here, and I like this circle piece of flair, which is from Scrap and Happy Studio, that came with a Secret Not Secret kit, or with Creative Cuts file, which is also from Christina. So I kind of like this, and I want, if I put it down there, and it doesn't overlap much there, and I can still read it. So I did want to include that. Now I have this cloud, and I have some more clouds here from Bramble Fox. So I'm going to see what I can fit in of those. This is a really nice collection of clouds and umbrellas, and I don't know that I want to use an umbrella here, but I might like those two clouds, or one of them. They're so different from this one, I don't know if I can use them together, but we'll see. Okay, let me put those things in. I've got some, because it's a graduation thing, I've got these images of paint. They're clear stickers from an Amy Tangerine sticker book. There's a pen, a colored pencil, and it's from the Yes Please collection because the pencil says Yes Please, and a paintbrush, all of which I hope Katie uses. There's a smile bit, all bits that I may add. So let me now bring my page back. Oops, I've dropped an umbrella. Didn't want to do that. That must be telling me that I should use that umbrella. Okay, here's how that will fit on that page. And I have some round, a couple circles here, and a couple here. I want to be sure that they show, so maybe I'll make a couple here and a couple here. So I'll have 3 groups of 2. And I'm going to use something that I've had it for years, probably 10, 11 years. It's by Donna Salazar. It's called Mixed Media Inks by Colorbox. And I got it at a Mixed Media, so you can see my fingerprints all over it. And on its own, it would make, at one time, it would make round, circles that would give you kind of a shadowy look, and it showed up really nicely on black cardstock. Nowadays, it doesn't do that. So nowadays, it kind of, well, I can actually try, and you can kind of see a little bit of a twist there. So I have to give it a little bit of help. And what I thought I would do is I'm gonna kind of stamp the stamp pad with some of the Distress Oxide ink. Ooh, nice, 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 nice. Okay, so there'll be one group of those in each color. Then I'm going to take some black ink and use these circle stamps and go over those. And then I'll add some ink spots. So meantime, I'm going to kind of do that there and that there, kind of these corners. I'll know where those go. I'm going to put that off to the side. So now I'm going to use a different color. Let's see, I think I've... Okay, and I'm going to do here and maybe off here. And it'll kind of show partly behind there. So that's one mixed color. Now I'm on Salty Ocean. And I have kind of forever defined this pad now as being in the blue family. So let me do this and the secondary one there. Okay, so those are all done. I can put this away. I've thought about, probably 5 years ago, thought about throwing this away, and I thought, I don't really want to do that. I'm going to use this across here, I think. that's just a silly idea. Okay, now let me do my circles on there. I kind of like this one. This is my most used one. And I'm wondering, should I do it? Well, I'm doing it in black. This is where we're headed, so this is what we're doing. I'm going to kind of do it like that. Okay? And I'll go around. I'll use a different stamp. Maybe I'll go with this one. Now normally I would pat the ink across like this but I'm doing this on a different kind of medium, so I'm not doing it that way. I'm okay with getting it oversaturated, and it makes a good, nice, clean black image that way. Okay, I keep trying to put the ink away and I'm not done stamping. Now I'm gonna go, do I want this one? It's kind of a basketball pebble texture, or this dotty one. I'm gonna go with the dotty one. And put it down. And this one kind of overhangs my stamp block a bit. There it goes, okay. That one's nice. And I'm gonna go maybe right here for that. Okay, ooh, I like that. All right, now I'm going to get some black ink, if I can find my black ink. Here is my Diane Reevely Black Marble Dilutions Shimmer Spray. So it's gonna have some shine to it. I'll kind of do that. Now I'm going to doodle with a black pen. What did I do with my black pen? Here it is. To give me some of these, this kind of vertical, you know, kind of piece that stands up here. Kind of go like this and this and this, maybe some like that, and maybe a few things like this and this. And then over here, I'm going to do something this way, like that. I think when I get the photo on there, it's going to be fine. Let's get the photo cluster back in the picture here. Okay. I kind of like that. Let me prop it up on some fun foam. Got a little bit to cut off of that one. Got this. Okay. Let me kind of do this so that works. I'm kind of bridging a bit here, so let me put a little reinforcement there. There we go. Okay. And I have some ideas as well for, I have some clear stickers from Cocoa Vanilla that have these colors that kind of add that kind of look like these brush stroke colors. So I might see whether that's something I would want to reinforce, I'd want to do. Okay, let me get that placed on there. Let me press it down. Okay, I kind of like that area. Let me pull my title. I have, this title is Moments. I could do it here instead of here, or here's what I could do. Let's do this. I'm going to, because it has the gesso on it, the adhesive comes up more easily. I'm going to move this cluster over, but I don't really want to hide this bit. Let me get this in completely in frame. I'm moving the cluster over. I don't really want to hide that part, so I'll push it up a bit. Let me go there and press it back down again. And now my Moments title will fit. And so behind the Moments, would I like this bit sticking up? Would that show? I think that's too much coloring, and this bright pink is not anything I have in there. I have this bit of blue and this kind of blue and pink and yellow, but I think I'll save those for a different layout. I don't think I need those here. Let me get some adhesive on here, and we're almost clearing the bar here, almost done. I love this, it's almost a sea glass look. This is a perspective from Bramble Fox, and I subscribed to their Fox box, and that came one day. I thought I might use these here. Let me try one. Maybe following along these horizontal lines there. Okay, that works. And then the others fit. Again, my purpose is to use all these bits so that I don't have to put them away. This makes that really, it's kind of subtle. I had thought about making another one of these fishtail banners to go there, but I think this works really well. Okay, I like that. And now that I've used that, it's almost as though I'd like something over here, like, you know, one of these clear stickers. Is there maybe something I could do with, I don't want to use that pink, it's a bluish pink. I do like this yellow, maybe right under here. Let me get my tweezers. My tweezers can take things where my fingers can't. Okay, that works. Now, do I want to add this blue one? I think so. And this one can kind of peek out from under the photo cluster. Let's get that, well, This one may have to be done with fingers. And of course I'm getting my gesso-y fingerprints on the clear sticker. Let's do it that way. Okay, I'll burnish that so that it reduces the sheen and takes out all the little stuff. And what I'm left with now is kind of a hard edge, which I don't like. So let's see if there's something. Oh, I did want to use this. This is a Vicki Boutin Why Hello There kind of circular element. So let me do that. That has nothing to do with what I was worried about down below, but I have some Maggie Holmes stickers, clear stickers that might work just fine there. I've got these kind of, well, this one that's sort of in the blue family that I could add a spray of flowers down there. I'm not crazy about that. When you stop and look around, love these summer days, every summer has a story, happy little moments, and since the title of it is Moments, that might be nice. Let me see what I can do with this. This won't have a big impact on the overall look of the layout, but it kind of adds a little accent, and if I have one here and I have one up here, then it's kind of balanced, and my tweezers are coming apart. Okay, it kind of looks like a stamp, and because I like that, I may do this little bird up here and add one here. And then do I want the cloud? If I do I want two? Do I want one down on here or here? Do I just want this one? Let me save the Bramble Fox ones to use with those umbrellas, and I'll just use this one. It's kind of by itself, it's an orphan, and I can kind of put it there. Okay, this I can use for some journaling. When I get the proper photo there, and I'll put a date, the date, I honestly don't remember the date of the photo shoot. I have some, I like this Fill Your Life with Adventures, Not Things, but I don't have any of that color green other than right here, so maybe it might work here. I'll decide that when I get the right photo on there. And I've got a few other little small things. Ooh, I did want to put this globe and this camera. Let me tuck the camera in underneath here and anchor that down. And I like that it overlaps the two. So this is the world as if, you know, I'm thinking that let me get this, try to get the map straight. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be true to reality here, photorealistic or anything like that. So this might work right in there, and then you don't really care what, how perfect the map is. I've got this bit, it's one bit of corrugated cardboard, and I thought I'd just add it to a cluster of circles, maybe kind of right in here, because there's so many different circle-y things. And I have these two gigantic rhinestones that came in the Let's Wander collection by Vicki Boutin. So I thought I might try to find a spot. Let's get this off to the side. I'll put this clear one over there. I'd like this one maybe down here. Okay. I think that's it, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your sticking with me through this. Hope you enjoyed it, and be sure and get out and try some mixed media on your next layout. It's so much fun, and even if you have no idea what it's going to turn out like, which I didn't in this case, whatever you do, it can always be, I don't know, covered up. And I covered up a lot of this. It just adds a little bit of personality to your background paper, but as I did in this case, I left enough of the background paper showing so that I can get that feel, and I really like that. So thank you so much. Be sure and check out everybody else. I'll have the links to the other Mixed Media Frenzy ladies on my down below in my description, and I'm sure they'll have some really amazing interpretations of this sketch. It's a versatile sketch that's really, really nice. So does that belong there? No, I don't think so. Okay, so we'll go here. Too many changes. Thanks again. See you next week. Bye. And let me see if I can turn this off. Here's my trusty little